Hi friends, I am Alok Mukherjee. In this episode, we are going to see how a digital LCR meter is used to measure inductors, capacitors and resistors of different values. This is an easily available digital LCR meter which can measure component values used in all type of crossover networks. Here you see we can measure capacitor values ranging from 200 pF to 2000 microfarad. The inductor measurement range is from 200 microhenry to 20 Henry, and the resistor range is from 200 ohms to 20 mega ohms. Here are some samples of inductors, capacitors and resistors of different values. This is an air core inductor coil of 180 turns of 22 SWG enameled copper wire wound on a plastic tube of 1 inch diameter and 3/4 inch height. This is a 1/2 inch diameter plastic bobbin which is used to make inductor coil like this. This coil is 90 turns of 22 SWG wire. Now this is a non-polar capacitor of 10 microfarad 250 volt. This one is 3.3 microfarad 250 volt. 3.3 microfarad 250 volt. This one is an electrolytic capacitor of 22 microfarad 63 volt. These are two resistors of 10 ohms and 3.3 ohms of 5 watt capacity. This is an assembled crossover network with inductor, capacitor and a 10 watt resistor. Value of this resistor is 22 ohms. The capacitor is of 4.7 microfarad 250 volt, and this inductor we have to measure. Now the LCR meter is turned on and we have to select the measuring range. Here this coil is made of 180 turns of 22 SWG wire. We are going to measure the inductance of the air core coil. We find the value of this inductor is showing 0.6 millihenry. This small coil is made on a 1/2 inch plastic bobbin with 90 turns of 22 SWG wire, which we are going to measure. And we find the value 0.166 millihenry. Now see, if we put a soft iron core inside the coil, the inductor value jumps up to 0.536 millihenry. There are some controversies about using soft iron core for saturation factor, but for this low power applications, it is not very much significant. Now we are going to measure the values of capacitors. The range selector switch is placed at 200 microfarad range. Value of this capacitor is marked as 10 microfarad 250 volt. We connect the leads and the meter reads 9.8 microfarad, which is almost near to 10 microfarad. Next, we check the value of this 3.3 microfarad capacitor in the same way, and the value shown is 3.3 microfarad, which is of exact value. Now, this is an electrolytic capacitor of 22 microfarad 63 volt, which has to be measured by connecting positive and negative leads to the capacitor positive and negative. The meter reads 21.6 microfarad, which is within tolerance. Now, for measuring values of resistors, we put the selector switch to 200 ohm scale. And we check the value of 3.3 ohms resistor. It shows 3.6 ohms, which is a little high. Let us clean the leads and check it once again. But still it is showing the same reading. Now, let us check this crossover board with three components: the inductor, capacitor, and a resistor. As this is an open circuit without the speakers connected, we can check each component separately. First, we check the resistor value, which shows 22.4 ohms. The capacitor value reads 4.2 microfarad, which is little less than the value marked on the capacitor. Now we put the selector switch to 2 millihenry range. And find the inductor value as 0.33 millihenry. This coil is made of 120 turns of 22 SWG wire on a 1-inch diameter pipe. So you have seen how we used the LCR meter to read the component values.